Hello, this is wmpyr here with a martial arts discussion video, and hopefully I can include a little bit of some philosophy in there as well. And I got an email recently from this guy who told me that he has been training in martial arts and he changed his viewpoint completely, and now he's all about combatives. So he has that kind of like mindset, that kind of training where he's all focused on the combatives side of things. So he no longer views his training as martial arts or something like that. And the techniques that he practiced and the strategies and stuff are all based off of gross motor movements and also simple natural movements as well. So basically he was asking for my opinion and what I thought about this his new curriculum. So in my opinion, I'm glad that he found something that he's very excited about, but at the same time, I wouldn't put all my eggs into one basket. You know what I mean? Basically because I don't believe that there's anything out there that's so perfect, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the perfect style or the perfect method. That's not what it is, and that's not what I'm interested in, and I think that is a wrong approach of things. That's basically kind of like I always call it a consumer mentality. You're always looking for the better product, and to me that's not what martial arts is truly about. The good quality martial arts stuff is the stuff that you develop. So it's not something you could go buy or you could go find or you could go, oh, this is a new concept, this is a new principle, let me add that. It doesn't work that way, you know what I mean? It's what you constantly work on and progress. That's what I believe in. So that's cool, but at the same time, that's difficult for some people because you can't just buy it, you know? And I would be very, very careful about just being all crazy about one style, because what you're going to do there is you're going to basically close the doors off to any kind of change. You're forcing yourself into one box and saying, this is what I'm going to train in. This is the answer to, my problems, to my questions. This is the goal. This is what I want. And you just put yourself there. And you basically restrict yourself. And I feel like martial arts training should be very dynamic, and it should change and it should evolve. There should be room for growth, essentially. So you don't want to cut all that off just because right now you're all excited or right now you feel like this is awesome. You should always keep your mind open. Stay humble, and the future is unknown. So you need to leave it as X or Y or a question mark. Leave it like that so that it can change, not like this is the answer, this is the way to go, combatives all the way. Don't do that to yourself, you know what I mean? When essentially the student, to me, has to do this, you have to kind of go through your own curriculum, your own martial arts experience, your own martial arts training. You have to examine it, you have to think, you have to go, how can I make this more realistic? How is this supposed to be used in real life? You have to go through all that, and there's a lot of different explanations, a lot of different strategies. So study all that, okay? Study all that. Just don't take that stuff into word of stone, is what I have to say, because if you do that, you're going to become arrogant, and once again, you're going to become inflexible and unopened. You're going to have a very closed mind. So just be careful with that. But at the same time, it is a necessary process for you to go through and think those things and try to solve those questions and problems that you have. And as you do that, I think the ultimate result that from my own experience I could tell you is that there's many different methods out there, right? That all these people have come up with, different societies, different individuals. There's a ton of different martial arts styles out there. And at the end of the day, this is just combat, this is warfare. So there's different ways to do it. Okay, so we know that much. Different ways, different circumstances. Okay, so what I'm saying is that I think for a beginner, it's nice to have one strategy. That's easy to understand, very nice and clear. You don't get confused. One strategy, and use it pretty much for whatever circumstance you're in. Just try to use that as best as you can, okay? when you become more advanced, you have multiple strategies under your belt, and you're able to handle all of them without getting confused, and you're able to go, okay, this is the right time to use this strategy. For this time, I'm going to use this strategy, and then for this time, this strategy is going to work better. To be able to, your mind is clear, boom, 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 boom. You know, for this, we need this. For that, it's this kind of situation. So to be able to do that takes a lot of skill. That's not easy to do because, like I said, for the beginner, it's just going to be confusing. It's like, oh man, I'm confused. You barely handle one strategy, right? So that's what I recommend is ultimately you want multiple perspectives, multiple strategies, all right? The main difference that I could think of between the two ways is if you have one strategy, let's say combatives, and you do that really, really well, to me, that's like a military guy who's really, really good at infantry. Okay, so he goes in and he has an assault rifle. He's really good at that. He can go in, you know, and take out some bad guys, sentry removal, and then he can get out of there. Okay, so that's infantry, right? The guy who has multiple perspectives, to me, is like a 5-star general. This guy is the guy that's going to command different fleets. You know, he could control Army, Navy, Air Force, all that, put it together and make it work. You know, that is the difference right there. So to be able to command different strategies at will, that is, I think, the ultimate. You know, because why? Because real life situation is so chaotic, so complex, so ever-changing, so diverse. What's a street fight? Your definition of a street fight and another guy's definition of a street fight may be totally different. So everybody's definition of a street fight can be, I mean, there's so many different situations, scenarios there, okay? And you can't say there's one solution to all of that. If so, then that solution is not that great. You know what I mean? If it works on all of that, then it's not that great. Okay, so the other thing is I hear this a lot from like reality training and you know, combatives or military training type people, is that you want gross motor movements, techniques based on that, and also simple natural movements that could come out, you know, when you're in a crisis situation. No fancy moves and stuff like that, you know. And all I have to say to that is basically we're talking about like high percentage moves. And if you, let's say, look at a boxer, right? What is a high percentage move for a boxer? It's a jab. Imagine a boxer that all he has is a jab. Then he's not going to be a good boxer, okay? He's going into the ring, he's going into a fight with very limited tools. And he did it to himself because he thinks this is high percentage, this is the way to go. And it's clearly not. You know, there's not a boxer in the world that all he has is a jab and is going to be successful. There's no way, you know. So just because a KO punch is rare, it is rare. That is a low percentage move. To knock out someone who's trained, who's tough, who's game, is not easy to do. And boxers go 12 rounds and it still may not happen, right? So a KO punch is rare. Does that mean you should not practice the KO punch, that you should take it out of your arsenal? Absolutely not. You should. You should practice low percentage moves, medium percentage moves, and high percentage moves, in my opinion. Because if not, you're going in there once again. What plumber goes to work and he only has like a wrench, you know, just because that's the tool that he uses the most? I think that's not a good idea. That's not a professional plumber. A professional is going to have all of his tools at least close by, readily available. So that's exactly, I believe, what you want to do too. So don't let the gross motors and you know, versus fine motor skills and all that deter you. That also depends on you. Like when I was first training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, when I started learning more and more, I was like, wow, this is very, very complicated stuff. I'm supposed to get the mount, but I have to mount like this. If not, I'm going to get put in the guard, so I have to be careful of his foot over here. I mean, the good guys fight for like every inch. That's detailed. That's super technical, right? I'm like, how's my brain supposed to do all that in a real life situation where it goes bam, bam, bam? It's so fast. How am I supposed to do that? Believe it or not, through practice, you can. You can. Not always, but a lot of times you can. Not always. That's why you should have a plan C, a backup plan when things aren't going well for you, and then you have another plan when things are going better, and then also a game plan when things are ideal, all right? And that's when maybe you're using low percentage moves like nothing. You're knocking out guys with spin kicks. You're knocking out guys with backflip kicks. You're doing what people think is impossible. We have an Achilles on the battlefield. That's where everyone's going to be like, wow, look at that guy. You know, he's just knocking people out like flies. Maybe that's not the normal you, but under the right circumstances, why not? Why couldn't it be? And in that case, why would you want to limit yourself to very only basic stuff? Then you're just making the fight even tougher for yourself. So, you know, like I said, this is all natural, that you're basically, this is a learning experience. Martial arts is a path. You're learning as you go. And as you go, you're sorting things out. And as you sort things out, all I'm saying is don't limit yourself too much. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Don't think that one thing is the answer to all. You know, that's all I'm saying. So enjoy your training, and remember, it's really all about how you walk the path. So, you know, do you want to get to the top, get to the goal, whatever it is, climb the mountain, but do you want to climb it being an asshole, or do you want to climb it being a cool guy, and therefore when you look back, you go, you know what? I climbed my mountain by being cool to people. I didn't step on people. I didn't kick people off the cliff and stuff like that, you know? And I think that is very important. That's more important than getting to the peak or not. Getting to the peak or not is actually not important in my opinion. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for listening, and take care, folks.